Welcome back to both Aunt Vivs, and today we're talking about Antman and the Wasp, Quantumania. It is the third installment of the Antman franchise and the introduction of the new big bad to the MCU, Kang, played by Jonathan Majors.
But this isn't the first time we've seen Kang. He made his first on-screen appearance at the end of Loki Season 1 as the Kang variant, He Who Remains. At the end of the season, Sylvie, a variant of Loki, kills He Who Remains, which frees the sacred timeline and unleashes an infinite amount of Kangs into the multiverse.
Including Kang the Conqueror, the version of Kang who is the main antagonist in the movie and supposedly so dangerous that all the other Kangs had to exile him to the quantum realm. But I didn't see it. I mean, he was defeated by a bunch of bugs.
Whoa. First of all, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Ant-Man 3 yet, stop and save this video for after you see the movie. Or at least till after you watch the post-credit scenes on YouTube.
My bad. I did get ahead of myself. I'm just so mad that this multiverse warlord that's supposed to be the next Thanos level threat was defeated so easily. Like, really? Is this your Kang?
I don't know. I was hyped to see Jonathan Majors be the star of a full-length film after the tease we got in Loki. And those post-credit scenes were fire.
See, what does that say about the movie though, when the post-credit scenes are the best part? Come on. I'm excited for Kang to return to the MCU, but Ant-Man wasn't it for me.
Okay, well, let's recap what happened first. And we'll let the audience decide for themselves whether the movie was good or not. Let us know your grade in the comments. I give it a B-.
I'd give it a C+.
It begins with Janet Van Dyne in the quantum realm years before she was rescued by her husband, Hank Pym. Janet sees something crash close to her home and goes to investigate. She discovers Kang, who claims to be a traveler whose ship crash landed in the quantum realm.
The truth is, he was exiled by his fellow Kang variants, okay? They sabotaged his ship and sent him to the quantum realm where he would exist outside of time and be no threat to them or the multiverse.
Janet helps Kang repair his damaged multiversal time machine and his power suit.
Yeah, can we talk about this power suit? Because we never really learn what his powers actually are. He just has a suit that does whatever the story needs him to do.
True. They never really explain his suit, its powers, or why he even needs to wear it. But they do explain that his ship can travel to any point in time throughout the multiverse, that it's neuro-connected, meaning Kang controls it using his mind.
Which is a very big design flaw on Kang's part because that feature ends up backfiring on him, right? Janet is able to see his mind when she touches the ship, and she witnesses all the timelines he's destroyed in his quest for power and all the trillions of lives he's just basically removed from existence.
Janet is horrified at what Kang really is and tries to put a stop to him. It's too late to destroy his suit, but she manages to damage the core that powers his multiversal time machine.
Yes, and even though he's stuck in the quantum realm, thanks to Janet, he still has his power suit, which is enough for him to conquer the quantum realm and become an oppressive and powerful ruler with a huge army at his disposal.
Kang also enlists the help of Darren Cross, formerly known as Yellow Jacket, but now known as MODOK, which stands for Mechanized Organism Designed Only for Killing. Janet helps a group of freedom fighters in the quantum realm resist Kang's tyrannical rule until she's rescued from the quantum realm by Hank.
Yep. And after she's rescued, she doesn't think it's a good idea to mention the multiversal madman living in the quantum realm. I mean, you were with all the Avengers at one point. They did a time heist using the quantum realm to save the universe. Why couldn't you make a pit stop to take out Kang after you defeated Thanos? I'm just saying.
I think we can cut them a little bit of slack. You just finished defeating Thanos and his army. Would you really be in a hurry to fight another big battle?
Okay, fine. Maybe not right after Endgame, but Janet waited till halfway through the movie to tell Hope and Hank who Kang was. She was doing the absolute most. I'm sorry.
That's fair. Can't really argue with that. Cut to present day. Cassie, Scott Lang's now teenage daughter, builds a device that can search the quantum realm by sending a signal to the microscopic world. Janet is noticeably rattled and attempts to unplug the device, but she's too late. MODOK discovers the signal and sucks Scott, Cassie, Janet, Hope, and Hank into the quantum realm.
Oh, and don't forget about Hank's army of super intelligent ants who also get sucked into the quantum realm. They're a big part of the ending of the movie.
That's right. So, the ants undergo a time dilation while being sucked into the quantum realm and evolve into a hyper-intelligent society.
Ugh, because of course they do. The corniest part of Ant-Man in general is that the ants are so involved. Like, I get designing a suit inspired by the speed and strength of an ant, but for real, just leave it at that. The ants do not need to save the world too.
Meanwhile, Cassie and Scott are separated from Hank, Hope, and Janet and are captured by quantum freedom fighters who have been displaced from their homes by Kang the Conqueror.
Hold up, because when MODOK shows up, why did the rebel lady blame Scott and Cassie for, quote, bringing Kang right to them? When y'all are the ones that kidnapped them. They didn't ask to be your prisoners.
Look, Kang done put them through a lot of stress, all right? She's not thinking straight. MODOK and Kang's army attack the rebels and capture Scott, Cassie, and Jentora, the leader of the freedom fighters.
Finally, well, past halfway through the movie, we actually get to see some Kang on screen. Because check it, we haven't seen him actually fight anyone yet, but he talks a good game about all the Avengers he's killed throughout the multiverse. You can tell they really want us to be afraid of him, but he hasn't really done anything yet for us to fear him. Like, all we know is that he's a powerful ruler who turned Darren Cross into MODOK, the Mr. Potato Head of the MCU.
Scott and Cassie are brought to Kang, and he demands that Scott, with his access to Pym particles, help him restore his multiversal power core, or else he'll kill Cassie. Scott agrees under duress and is taken to restore Kang's power source. While attempting to reach and restore the enlarged core, he has to fend off multiple theoretical variants of himself.
So luckily for him, Hope and an army of theoretical variants of the Wasp arrive to aid Scott just when all seems lost, right? They are able to restore the ship's power source, but Kang breaks his word and instead takes the power core, keeps Cassie as prisoner, captures Janet, and destroys the ship with Hank on it. It's a lot going on.
Now that Kang has the core back, he is free to leave the quantum realm and reveals to Janet that he isn't leaving alone. He's bringing an army with him. His goal is not only to conquer the multiverse, but to destroy his variants who exiled him.
Yeah, see, he's big mad and says that he wants to, quote, burn them out of time. Yikes.
Kang has everything he needs to conquer, and all seems lost. Antman, the Wasp, and Cassie, who has escaped and freed Jentora, try to stop Kang the Conqueror. But he and his powerful suit are too much for them, and he single-handedly wreaks havoc on the rebellion.
Then, the most dangerous Kang of all the variants is taken out by MODOK and some ants.
Yes, but not just any ants. The hyper-intelligent ants who have evolved over thousands of time-dilated years rescue Hank from the earlier explosion, join the fight for quantum freedom, and swarm Kang.
Okay, with the help of the ants and MODOK, who randomly decides to turn on Kang after one fight with Cassie, they're able to stop the Conqueror and use his core to open a portal back home. They really forced a redemption arc on Darren Cross. Really? Make it make sense, y'all.
Darren dies, thinking he's an Avenger for some reason. Janet, Hank, Hope, and Cassie jump through the portal, but Scott is caught off guard by Kang, who is still alive and desperate to jump through the portal himself. A vicious fight ensues between Scott and Kang, with Scott determined to keep Kang trapped.
This is probably the best scene with Kang outside of the post-credits, okay? We see how brutal and dominating he can be when he is kicking Ant-Man's ass. We usually don't get to see our heroes get straight up like mollywop like this.
But just in time, Hope comes back through the portal and the two destroy the power core while simultaneously pushing Kang into it and sucking him into a quantum oblivion. Kang is defeated. Cassie reopens the portal and Hope and Scott are able to go home.
So Scott resumes his normal life but is haunted by Kang's words of warning in the movie and can't help but think that his death was the start of something terrible. But Scott ultimately brushes that aside, and that's how the movie ends.
The mid-credit scenes show a gathering of the Council of Kangs. Variants from across the multiverse have been gathered to discuss the death of the Exiled One. Here, 3 Kang variants discuss the implications of one of them being killed by an Avenger. They decide that in order to maintain their hold on the multiverse, they must strike.
That scene was crazy. We got a bunch of Kang variants. Ramatut was the pharaoh-looking one. Immortus is the one with the blue face and Pope hat. And I think this cybernetic one is Scarlet Centurion, but it could be Kang Prime too. We even see a Kang variant that looks like a Skrull.
The mid-credit was great, but the biggest reaction of the whole night had to be during the post-credit, where we see Loki and TVA agent Mobius, who have spotted another of Kang's variants named Victor Timely in the 1920s. This is a huge teaser for the next season of Loki, and that's the whole movie.
So Jonathan Majors' Kang is the next big villain of the MCU. And while Quantumania as a whole was an average movie, they did a decent job of setting us up for his eventual face-off with the Avengers. They did alright.
It was definitely better than Thor: Love and Thunder, and about the same as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, if you ask me. Jonathan Majors' Kang gave us a lot to look forward to in the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
They did. And while Kang is obviously very powerful, there was like a lack of motivation behind his character's actions that made his story kind of hollow. The emotional connection that we had to Thanos, we don't really have that for Kang yet. That hasn't showed up yet. But it could just be something that they're saving for the next Avengers movie, and that's fine.
Also, introducing Kang as the next big villain in an Ant-Man movie may have worked against the character. The Ant-Man movies often have more of a comedic tone, with Paul Rudd being an average Joe type who also happens to be a superhero.
Yep, yes. His victory over Kang really makes you wonder, like, how powerful is this guy really if he can be defeated by a bunch of bugs? I'm still not over that. I won't ever be over that. But Jonathan Majors had a great performance. I really don't have a problem with his acting. I'm more so disappointed with the material he was given. Like, I don't know how else to say it. They killed off the next Thanos with a bunch of bugs.
Okay. The ants didn't kill him, just temporarily subdued him.
How is that better?
You're right. That's still nonsense. But I loved Major's performance as Kang. He was able to pull off a nuanced performance that was at times sympathetic, like when he was manipulating Janet to help him fix his ship, but could quickly turn diabolical and terrifying as he began to reveal himself as a warlord intent on getting what he wants by any means necessary. This Kang was also noticeably different from He Who Remains, the Kang variant from season 1 of Loki, which makes me excited to see how Majors will play other variants of Kang in future movies.
Yes, okay, that we can both agree on. I may not have loved this movie, but I will be tuning into the Avengers Kang Dynasty just to see what else Jonathan Majors has in store for us and the Earth's mightiest heroes.
Last question. Do you think the exiled Kang is actually dead? Like, is he gone for good?
What you mean? Of course he's dead. We saw him get sucked into the quantum portal thing, and the Kang variants explicitly say, "Are you sure he's dead?" "Yes, I wouldn't have called you here if he wasn't." Or whatever, however they sound. I had no doubt in my mind that he's dead.
Yeah, but this is Marvel. Gamora, the Red Skull, Darren Cross, and even Loki have seemingly died but have come back. And we didn't see a dead body confirming he's dead.
Well, damn, that's a good point. Maybe he's still alive in another world within the world that is the quantum realm.
Maybe. But even if Kang the Exiled is dead, we know there'll be more Kang to come in the MCU.
So y'all, what did you think of Antman and the Wasp: Quantumania? Did you enjoy Jonathan Majors as Kang? Did you think Kang is dead? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks again, as always, for watching both Aunt Vivs.